A little bit of leg, go back soft again. Now he's not quite trying to pull the reins out of my hand as bad as he was, so I can get a little bit softer. He was really excited. Now, as he started to pin his ears back to make him move. All right, so if you've never seen a gaited horse that likes to work cows, that's about to change. I'm on Smokey here. Let me get him warmed up a little bit. Got on him and he stepped off and slipped and got mad. Wasn't my fault he slipped. I think he stepped off into something, lower part or something. Ask him to go a little faster. Get him warmed up a little bit. I've been working on his face a good bit. Working on him rating his speed. This is about the speed I'd like him to be at. As he works this speed and breaks at the pole, lifts his back, he starts to gait better, he starts to travel better. You'll see that as we go. He'll get relaxed, start to swing his head a little bit. He's getting pretty nice. This is a nice horse. A lot of nice things about him. I'm using a little bit of leg, kind of lift his back, help steer him around, push his shoulders left and right, lift his back. And in the process, that helps to soften his poll, soften his jaw, which helps us carry his body better, which helps his gait. It's all connected. I have a twisted wire bit on him. That's what he really seems to ride the best in. I think it's 5/16 twisted wire. Wanting to go in the barn. Come on, let's go back this way. I think it's 5/16. I know it's 5/16. Pretty decent diameter. It's just to give him a little bit of texture. Helps him get a little softer on my hands. Be a little softer. Gives him a little texture to break at the pole. Gives it when he pushes, he feels that texture. It's really all that is. I don't ever have to pull on him hard. Sometimes he pulls on me a little bit hard, but that's on him. Go forward. And right leg, go forward, both legs. He's thinking about going back into the barn. It's getting pretty close to supper time. That's probably what he's thinking about. When I got him out of the stall, he was probably thinking that it's time to eat supper, not time to go ride. He's probably going to be the last horse that I ride today. A little bit of leg, push him out forward. I have several clinics coming up. Maryland, Massachusetts, steer. Maryland, Massachusetts, UK, Germany, Tennessee, and Texas. Dusty with Wild Wild Equine here. He's helping me put on a clinic this fall. That one is in October, I believe. Don't remember the date right off the top of my head. I'll be posting all of those on my Facebook page. I've already made the post on my Patreon. Come on, let's steer. Smokey, he has really got going in the barn on his mind. I'll be posting all that on Facebook. I've already made the post on Patreon. I believe the Maryland and Massachusetts clinics are both close to full. And I've heard that there's really good turnout in the UK one. I haven't talked to the girl is putting on the Tennessee one yet. Not recently. I mean, I've talked to her, just not recently, as far as see how that's coming with filling that clinic. If you're in Europe and you're interested in the UK clinic, you can get information at AQHA. If you Google AQHA UK, you can get information about that clinic. They're the ones sponsoring that clinic, so the information is on their website. I don't remember the website for the other clinics off the top of my head. I remember that one because it's AQHA UK. Come on, Smokey, let's go. The one in Texas is in October. So I haven't put out much about it yet, but I'll have information coming out about it too. Let's go forward. Forward right there. He kind of put his head down and was pulling on my hands. All right. Let's go get a cow out. All right. Got these 3 in here. They should move, give him something to follow. Really all I'm after is giving him a cow to follow. Can't really control if we go out of frame of the camera with the cows, so do the best we can. Usually when there's a group like this, when I'm first starting to work, first starting a horse on cows, or first starting the cow to be worked, they work better in a little group like this. Try to keep them together. Now I want him to kind of lock on and follow, give him a little bit of slack. He tends to dive his head down and try to pull slack out of my hands. So I'm not going to give him too much slack. If I give him all the slack he wants, then I'm not going to have any control. And I've got to keep controlling speed. I don't want this to get faster than what I can control. The cows start running really fast. I want to be able to pull him off. There he's trying to speed up to catch up to him. See how he's wanting to just kind of say, let me do it. I'm not going to let him. We're just going to follow quiet. You'd really just as soon just go up there and stomp on one or kick on one. Keep going. Keep going. This one over here is kind of backing up and not really going forward. And that's a thing to take note of. I'm going to have to make sure she goes forward. We don't want to ruin her. So let's make sure she goes forward. If she stops, if she learns that she can just stop and we'll work around her, then that's what she's going to start doing. And little things like that are really big in the longevity of your cows. There's little things that you can do, then you can wear your cows out really quick. And there's little things that you can do and your cows will last a long time. And my cows typically last a long time. The thing about it is, it's just like training a horse. And the horse wins, you gotta let the cow win. And if the cow thinks he'll win once in a while, he'll keep working. Now, if you keep running past and stopping and turning the cow, like cutting training, you wear them out really fast. We do a lot of just tracking like this, a lot of in the big arena, tracking all the way around the arena, teaching the horse position, teaching the horse where to get to control the cow, where to get to control the speed of the cow, the direction of the cow. And we're gonna make that little move. With the exception of the 2 horn cows, all the rest of them here are out of my breeding program. I have a half Charolais, half Hereford bull, and then my cows are Sim-Angus. So that's why you get the different colors. I get a little bit of white on the head from the Hereford. I get a lot of this yellow color from the Charolais. And once in a while we'll get a black one like that one from the Sim-Angus. The one that was born yesterday is red. Its mama is a red Sim-Angus. And the calf is red with white on its head. And I have one, back there I have one cow with horns, a Corriente with horns. And so far, this bull has knocked the horns off of all of her babies. Now see that black one there starting to back up. We're gonna go make sure we push on him, make him go forward. That was Smokey pushing his shoulders out, trying to go work the little one. He really wants to lock on that one for some reason. I helped him a little bit with that turn to the left, but that was mostly him just following the cows around to the left. I'll point his nose a little bit, encourage him a little bit with my legs, but it's mostly like right there. See him looking at that one? When he's looking at it, wanting to follow it, I'm going to give him some slack. Right there, he kind of left. I'll point his head, a little bit of leg, go back soft again. Now he's not quite trying to pull the reins out of my hand as bad as he was, so I can get a little bit softer. He was really excited. Now as he started to pin his ears back to make him move. Let's move this black one here a little bit. These keep pairing up for some reason. Look at the black one. We don't separate our bull out from our cows. We don't plan for like a spring or a fall calving season. because I want the calves that I work to be all various ages so that I can cycle them in and cycle them out. That way I always have cows to work, and when one cycles out every few months, I'll take it to the sale or sell it as freezer meat, but I've always got something coming back in the group. And for what I do, I don't need a whole bunch of cows. And the way I manage them, they last a long time. These cows will last me until they're ready to go in the freezer. And that's because I do a lot of pushing like this, and if I stop and do some fence turns or some boxing, I'll go back and I'll do some more pushing. And a little bit to, well, there we go. Trying to make Smokey go to the left, push the cow around the corner to the right. It's all about managing your cows. You can manage them so that they'll last longer, and you can manage them so that you wear them out pretty quick. All right, so I'm going to ask Smokey to stop. As soon as we get around a little bit, we're going to stop. Stop, he wanted to keep going. And I'm going to quit on that for today for him. He really likes pushing the cows. He needs more confidence doing it, but he likes doing it. Ask him to stop. So I'll put a link somewhere here to his playlist on YouTube. Until next time, thank you for watching.